What's going on, car family? I'm Ben Wayne, coming at you with another video. Today we're here at Bentley of Atlanta to review the 2016 Bentley Continental GT Speed Convertible. The Bentley Continental GT Speed Convertible is based off the Bentley Continental GT, which was introduced to the public by Bentley Motors back in 2003. The original mission of the Continental GT was to produce a vehicle that had a significant cost reduction from the traditional coach-built Bentley by incorporating mass production techniques. And I use that term mass production very lightly. So today we're going to go over the exterior and interior features of the Bentley Continental GT Speed and see what makes this ride engineered for excellence. Let's talk about one of the main exterior features that set the Bentley Continental GT Speed apart from the rest of the cars in its luxury segment. If you notice, looking at the body panels of the car, they have knife edge-like creases in the aluminum. And this is formed by a technique in the aerospace industry called superforming, when the aluminum is heated up to 500 degrees Celsius and shaped by air pressure. This allows the auto manufacturer to create complex surfaces on the body of the car. Power from the W12 is transmitted to all four wheels via a state-of-the-art all-wheel drive system that incorporates the use of a torsion differential. 40% of the power is transmitted to the front wheels, and the remaining 60% is transmitted to the rear. One of the several traits that Bentley Motors is known for in the automotive industry is their unique attention to detail throughout an entire vehicle. If you look here, you'll notice that the side vents are in the shape of a flying B. And then you also have a speed badge on the bottom here to indicate to people that this is a Continental GT Speed as opposed to a traditional Continental GT. Now, coming over to the wheels, the Bentley comes in 275/35 ZR21-inch Pirelli tires on all four wheels. The rims are 5-spoke directional wheels that are 21 inches, and you have 16-inch brake rotors with red Bentley brake calipers. In the rear, these brake rotors are 13.2 inches in diameter and also have red Bentley brake calipers. Remember how I said earlier that Bentley is known for their attention to detail. Now, for clients who want their cars to reflect their individual personality, there's an option called Mulliner. Mulliner started out in the 16th century as a saddle business and then eventually moved to the horseless carriage and then moved into Bentley's factory in 1959. Now, Mulliner is so detailed you can bring in any article of clothing or any object, from like a lawnmower to a hat, and they will literally take the color of that sample and match your car to suit. You can even get the interior leather done in that color. Bentley Continental GT Speed Convertible is composed of a 4-layer soft top, which you can have in any color. So let me give you a quick demonstration on how the soft top works. Let's pop the hood and see what powers the Continental GT Speed. Now, under the hood, you're going to find a 6-liter twin turbocharged W12 capable of producing 626 horsepower at 6,000 RPM and 605 pound-feet of torque at a very low 2,000 RPM. This car is heavy, but it's able to go from 0 to 60 in 4 seconds flat and has a top speed of 206 miles per hour. Now, even though this car is built for speed, it's also built for a smooth ride. It features dynamic hydraulic engine mounts that change to a soft state when the car is idling to isolate the driver from vibration. Now let's close the hood and take a look at the interior of this vehicle. The interior of the Continental GT is composed of up to 9 hides of leather. And since it's hand stitched, it takes 37 hours to complete. Now let's take a quick look at the center console and go over some of the details of the interior of this vehicle. Starting from the top, you have salt black leather, and piano black veneer going throughout the center console. You have two large aluminum air conditioning vents that are cold to the touch, a nice analog Breitling clock, and these are nice organ stops. You push and pull them to open and close the air vents. Coming further down, you have an 8-inch touchscreen infotainment system. And again, you have hand stitching going all the way down. Further down, you have the dry selector, which is finished in red leather and has this nice aluminum red knurled feel to it. It feels great in my hands, and it's also cold to the touch. There's very little plastic in the interior of this car. Coming further back, you have your electronic parking brake, controls for your heated and cooled ventilated seats, your engine start-stop button, and your hazard button. You also have two cup holders here. Coming further back in the console, you have black leather covering the storage compartment here with red stitching going across. It feels nice to the touch. As you can see, storage in each one here. You can store a phone in here if you want to. Everything in the interior of this vehicle is just really nicely done. Let's cover the wooden veneers in just a little bit more detail. Every leaf of veneer can be traced back to the tree from which it came. When the wood is selected, it takes 5 weeks to create a set of veneers for one car. Veneers are humidified for 3 weeks to stabilize the wood. This ensures that there is no cracking or shrinkage when the wood is being molded into shape. After the wood has been molded into the shape, it's treated with 5 layers of clear lacquer by hand. The steering wheel of the Bentley Continental GT Speed is a work of art in itself. A machine is used to cut out leather for the steering wheel, and the leather has to be stretched and pulled to meet the circumference of the steering wheel. And after it's been stretched and pulled, it's glued to the steering wheel and then actually hand stitched by a craftsman. It takes a craftsman roughly 3 to 4 hours to complete the stitching process of the steering wheel. In order to get the stitching to be fairly accurate, the craftsman uses a simple tool. You might have heard of it. It's called a fork. He takes the fork and makes small indentations in the leather. That way he knows where to sew in the red stitching. The steering wheel features your traditional controls for your instrument cluster and hands-free voice activation for your phone and infotainment system. You also have 2 large aluminum paddles on the back that have knurling that feel good to the touch, and the left paddles to shift down and the right paddles to upshift, just in case you're driving in a manual mode. The door panel is covered in soft black leather and also has a red strip of leather going across. And what really sets it off, and what's one of my favorite features about the Continental GT Speed with the Mulliner package, is the diamond quilted stitching here with the red contrast stitching going across. That looks awesome. And then, of course, you have your power adjustable side view mirrors and controls for your power windows and an aluminum door handle. There's also storage at the bottom of the door. The seats also feature that neat quilted looking diamond stitching with red contrast all the way throughout. And I want to also note that since this is a GT Speed convertible, you get ventilation in the seats to blow warm air around your neck on cooler days when you have the top down. It also features speed stitching in the headrest and contrast stitching throughout. Let's start up the GT Speed and hear how that 6-liter W12 sounds. Well, that was a brief overview of the 2016 Bentley Continental GT Speed convertible. It's at a base price of roughly $263,000, so there's no problem with anybody being able to get one. But if you can't afford one of these, you can at least afford to subscribe to my YouTube channel because that's free. Thank you for watching. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.